The word Advent derives from the Latin word meaning coming. During Advent, we recall the history of God's people and reflect on how the prophecies and promises of the Old Testament were fulfilled. This Advent is a joyful waiting. Advent brings hope that when Jesus comes again as a victorious King, He will usher in the kingdom of God with all its blessings. God's peace and justice will fill the earth. There will be no more sorrow or tears. It's easy for those of us who live in safety, comfort, and prosperity to neglect a godly hope for the coming of the kingdom and all of its benefits. Somehow, we know what joyful waiting means. We look forward to our 30th month pay, to our Christmas bonuses and parties, to gifts, new clothes, new shoes, overflowing food, singing and dancing. Yet, for the prisoners, for the abandoned, for victims of injustice and oppression, for those who suffer from sickness or sadness, for people in need, for the hungry and homeless, for those who just go by the routine of daily sustenance, and for those who don't have anything to look forward to, the message of Advent may not be real. The joy of Christmas may be nothing but something to watch from afar. More than the rituals that we perform or witness in the church, Advent can be a time to touch those in need, not only so that we might share God's love with them, but also so that our yearning for the kingdom might be renewed within us. This year, in addition to the Advent candles, we added representations of our marginalized sectors in our society: the sick and the old, the children and the orphans, the laborers and the prisoners. Through these images, may we all be reminded to do our share in making the message of Advent and Christmas true among our poor brothers and sisters. As we light each candle in the Advent wreath, may we enkindle in our hearts that longing, that compassion to reach out to those who, because of their poverty and miseries, don't see the hope that Advent brings. As we celebrate Advent and prepare for Christmas, may the flicker of light in the Advent wreath disturb our hearts until we express mercy and compassion to those people who live in hopelessness. The chapel offers you some opportunities to perform these acts through your purchase of the paroles made by the prisoners of Bilibid. The paroles may not be the expensive-looking ones that we would decorate our houses with, but each parole represents our oneness with them and with all the other marginalized members of our society. We are one in hope, faith, and love, all recipients of God's mercy and compassion. We have 700 paroles for sale to raise the 800,000 pesos needed to fund our Christmas gifts to our poor partner parishes and institutions all over the country. As we begin our celebration of the Year of the Poor and our preparation for the visit of Pope Francis, we invite you to share the hope of Advent and the joy of Christmas by performing the spiritual and corporal works of mercy. When you buy our paroles, you would have partly fulfilled some of these works of mercy. We may reflect that every year at this time we celebrate His coming, we give to the poor. But how much of that spelled a difference? What part of that brought the Advent and Christmas messages to those in hopeless situations? If we have lost the feeling of expectancy and joyful anticipation, because at the end of the season, or even during the season, Our focus has been on the commercial and superficial Christmas preparations. Everything seems to return to pretty much the same routine. Then our preparation may have been lacking, and we have therefore been robbed of much of the true meaning of these seasons.